Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of non-sponsored product review. Many of you will know that anything that I review on the channel I've purchased with my own funds, and it's something I choose to evaluate because I want to use it either for myself or to provide it to my customers in the store. But this came to me, and a big shout out to a longtime customer and friend, and he YouTube is like I'm Glossy is his YouTube username. But I had mentioned in one of my previous videos about how I struggle in the early morning launches, a pre-dawn launch, like 5 a.m. launch or something, reading the map and reading the cues on these brevets, on these ultra distance unsupported events. And this is important because the route's not going to be marked. It's not like a Grand Fondo or one of these other events where you've got either signage, like PBP was very good at having signage everywhere. They must have put up 10,000 signs. Or a Grand Fondo or something where you have the arrows on the road that eventually just disintegrate with weather, I guess, rain and sunshine. So Chris was listening to that video, and he says, I use these little stick-on lenses, and they convert a sunglass into a bifocal. Now, I don't need prescription sunglasses. My long distance sight is just fine. I read signs, and I can see cars, all that stuff. I can see that just fine. What I have an issue with as you get older, if you're a young person watching this channel, things that are up close will be harder and harder to read. And so a computer, and especially if it's low light or depending on how they're doing the background lighting, the backlighting, it will be hard to read. During the daytime, I have no problem reading the screen and reading the cues. But he suggested that I try these out. Now, they seem to me, and Jessica got me a pair too, and sweetheart, I don't know what happened to them, but we'll look for them. But these are in hand, and today is Wednesday, and I have a 600-kilometer event coming up Saturday. And basically, from what I can tell, is you just clean the lens off and just place them on the bottom portion of your sunglass. So this might be, one of those things where, now this is, again, I'm not sponsored by this company. It's not a paid ad, but it's Stick Tight. And he had purchased, I think, it was a bundle. It was like 2 for X amount and 3 for Y amount. He bought the 3 because why not? Just get 3 of them. But he only has 2 sunglasses that he wears out while riding. So he said, I've got an extra pair if you want to try them. So I will put these on my sunglasses. And now the only challenge with this is that in the morning, and so for example, the 600K is going to launch out at 5 a.m. So that means about an hour or so of riding at night or pre-dawn. The 400K launched out at 6 a.m., so it was only about a half hour. So I may not actually have my sunglasses. So the other thing I may do is I will need to find my night glasses, and I have 2 pair, but I just got to find them. I haven't been doing that many overnight events, but they're either clear or like an amber lens. Some of you might be more familiar with seeing these at shooting ranges where they're just like an amber range, and the amber color, and they just seem to amplify everything and brighten up everything. But so I may need to do that. Maybe that's where I'll put these. because I won't be wearing my dark sunglasses at 5 a.m. start, but I do need to be able to read the cues. Now, another thing that I've done in the past is I have a set of folding readers, and they are, as far as height, they're shorter than this. They're just a little bit wider when they're folded down and collapsed. And on the long events, I have it in my top tube bag. That way I just pull it out, put them on, fold them back up. For the 600K last year, I rode through the night and I just left them on my face. I mean, they were just really small. They weren't like a full lens, so they were just really short like this. And I just kept them on my face, and I was able to just ride. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Who cares what you look like, as long as you can read the cues and not get lost at 2 o'clock in the morning and add any extra mileage that you already doing 375. You don't want to do anything extra by getting lost. So I'd like to know from you folks, one, what do you do for pre-dawn riding if you have cues to follow? This is not an issue for anyone who says, you know what, I know where I live, I'm leaving at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., I'm on a big day, or I have to get home before the kids wake up. So I'm going to go out and I know where I'm going, so I don't need to look at my computer. So that's not for you folks. So folks that are maybe in a Gran Fondo, in an event, in ultras, what do you use to read the map cues? I have a 1040 Solar, so it's pretty much the biggest computer that Garmin makes. And then what do you do, let's say, at night when you have to also do this and you've been caught out, or you're an overnight, you're a multi-day endurance cyclist? And then also, do you always have these on maybe your sunglasses? So the dark lenses, do you put this reader, this little stick on the bottom of your lens? So I'm just curious, how has it worked for some of you folks? Do you find it hard to, okay, I'm riding in a tuck and I got to look up and down, and does it work? I guess that's the best question that I need to ask you folks. But I do want to thank Chris thank you so much for dropping these off yesterday. I appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate that you watch the channel and make very good comments and questions. What's coming up next is I still need to do the 400K power analysis, and I still need to release the 400K sit down that Jessica and I had talking about that event. So those things are still coming. They're in the works. I have to work. I have to ride my bike. So the content just starts to pile up. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.